Namaskaram. Welcome to my channel, VPK Nutrition, Mind Body Healing with Pushpa. I'm Pushpa Soundarajan, registered dietitian, Ayurvedic practitioner, and certified yoga teacher. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the third niyama, or tapas, or austerity. And I'll also be sharing some practical ways to follow that in your own life. So stay tuned to find out. Welcome back, everyone. In today's episode, I'm going to be covering the third niyama, which is tapas. We've already talked about the first two, which is shaucham, which is cleanliness, and then the second one was santosha, or satisfaction or contentment. So in today's episode, tapas is a word that comes from the Sanskrit meaning to heat up. So just as when gold is heated up, it gets purified, or a diamond is polished, or the coal is polished, a diamond is extracted from that, so also our body and mind can be purified by tapas. Now, let's look at tapas from a modern context. Now, we all, in some capacity or the other, are doing some sort of tapas in the material world. Whether it is you working, you're running your own business, or or even in the family, you want a certain harmony in the family, or you're doing some kind of a project, or even art projects, arts, music. Everything requires a lot of effort in order to achieve a certain goal. Especially if you have a lot of aspirations, you would work even harder. So naturally, you sacrifice a lot of things and go through things that you may not want to otherwise, but still you want to do that so that you get the results. So the same way, if you want to maintain a very healthy body and mind, and also spirit, and kind of grow spiritually in yoga, then definitely it is very important that we have some kind of a tapas, or some kind of a higher goal, and practices like yoga, meditation, and pranayama, which will take us in that direction. And so that is what we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to use my emoji to share about 4 or 5 points to highlight the value of tapas. Number 1, langana, or fasting, is also a form of tapas in the body. When you restrict food in the body, it allows for some space for the body to reset itself to a healthier state. And this has been shown both in modern medicine and in Ayurveda to be beneficial for our health. Number 2, dinacharya, or daily routine, prescribed in Ayurveda, is also a form of a tapas. Now, Ayurveda clearly states what we should do every day from morning till evening as far as our eating habits, sleeping, activities during the day, as well as all the other rituals that will help us keep our body and mind healthy. Now, when these things are observed consistently, then health can be achieved. Number 3, although niyama 3 is tapas in yoga, it has also been described in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verses 14 through 16. And this describes how tapas looks like in body, speech, and mind. And I'm going to go through those one by one. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse 14, talks about austerity at the body level when we are in the service of our elders, saints, gurus, and divinity. These include some of the yamas and niyamas that we've already discussed before. First one is shaucham, or cleanliness. Then we have arjavam, which is simplicity, brahmacharyam, which is self-control or not indulging too much in sense pleasures, including sexual indulgences, and ahimsa, which is non-harming. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse 15, talks about tapas in speech. So what does that entail? Words that are anudvegakaram, that does not cause distress to another, satyam, honest, priyam, kind, and hitam, necessary or beneficial, are considered to be austerity in speech. Chapter 17, verse 16, describes austerity of the mind as being serene, gentle, silent, self-restrained, and pure, having pure thoughts and emotions. Now, how do we achieve something like this? First of all, it is important to slow down our thoughts so we're able to observe what is going on in the mind. Pranayama goes a long way in regulating our breath, and not only does it regulate our breath, it also helps us slow down our thoughts, observe those thoughts, and helps us purify our thoughts and emotions as they come up. So once we're able to do this on a regular basis, then we would be able to sit in meditation much more effortlessly. Number 4, challenges that come to us in the external world, whether it is with work or a home or something that helps you achieve a goal in the short term, is also considered to be a tapas, and we do put a lot of effort towards that. However, that kind of tapas is imposed upon us by an external entity. Tapas as a niyama in yoga is internal. It is self-imposed, self-effort or self-discipline in order to achieve a higher purpose or goal which has long-standing results. Yoga, pranayama, and meditation are the means and the end to such a tapas. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you for joining me. Just to give you a quick recap. Number 1, we talked about fasting, which is practiced by a lot of people, and that could be helpful in resetting your body and mind. Number 2, we talked about dinacharya or daily routine given by Ayurveda for a healthy living. Number 3, I highlighted some of the verses from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, 14 to 16, which talks about tapas of body, speech, and mind. And then number 4, tapas is an internal process and something that you have to decide to do in order to help yourself. And again, yoga, pranayama, and meditation go a long way in helping us to grow spiritually. So this week, try to observe your own life and see how much of tapas you're actually doing in your life as far as the material world is concerned, and see how much you really want to go further to grow spiritually. Thank you everyone for joining me. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please like it, subscribe, and share this video with others who might be benefited. Have a wonderful week ahead and see you next week.